Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Jani, and this is a cross stitch channel where I talk about cross stitch and fabrics and flosses and projects and topics related to cross stitch. If this is your first time here in my channel, welcome. I hope you have a great time. I hope you enjoy the content, and if you like, you can subscribe and click the bell. Yeah, I also have an Instagram page where I share pictures and lives and reels and stories, usually in Spanish, but if you like, we can chat a little bit in English. And I love to share my progress and new starts. And usually when I make an live video on Insta, it's for stitching with me videos. So yeah, today I want to talk a little bit about my Mirabilias and Nora Corbett projects that I finished. So this will be a finish pieces parade. So yeah, I record this video in Spanish originally, and this is the same video. I'm just making this voiceover to show you my Mirabilia and Nora Corbett pieces. Nora is my favorite designer, and I love her projects and I love her style. So I always have been stitching one of her patterns, and I really enjoy working on them. And I remember when my kids were really small, and through all my stitchy life, Mirabilia was always a constant in my stitchy corner. So yeah, I'm really happy to being able to stitch those designs. So I want to start with my name. I form my name with these patterns, letters from Nora, with the fairy alphabet, and I change the colors of the letters. And I use local beads because I didn't have the original mill heels or the crystals, so I use local beads and different materials. But I really want to form my name, and I thought that the letters with the little fairies look really nice. And I also stitch another letter for my nephew, no, for my niece. My niece, her name is Michelle, so I also stitch her M, the letter M, but I gave the frame and letter and her full name to her, so I don't have that with me anymore. But yeah, I also stitch the letter M. And I was thinking when I was doing this parade of finishes that I gave a few Mirabilias and Nora Corbett away, so I don't have all of them. But yeah, I really love to have them in my life. Another project is this beautiful Nora Corbett. This is a very special project. It's Montshood, and I stitch this little fairy in a really dark fabric that I dyed. If you know me, you know that I love to use really crazy fabrics for my projects. So I stitch this little fairy, and I received a visit from one of my stitchy friends, and I gave her the pattern so she could stitch the project. And in one of my stitchers retreat, we help her to attach the beads and finish the project. And she decided to share the pattern again with with another stitcher, so it became like a traveling pattern, and it's still traveling, mostly here in Mexico. So yeah, we in the next retreat we have a few friends who stitch the same pattern, and it's my original pattern. And yeah, it's our traveling chart. And yeah, it's it's a really nice experience and a really bonding experience among stitchers. So yeah, I love when one of my stitchy friends send me patterns as a gift, because here in Mexico it's really hard to get Mirabilia's and Nora Corbett patterns. We have to order them in the United States or in Europe, because in Latin America these patterns are no available. This is another Mira Twisted Mermaids, and I love to stitch this project. This is a lovely pair of mermaids. Um, I stitched this in another of my hand-dyed fabrics. The fabric, it's a local cotton fabric. It's about 36, 38 count. And in this for this project I use rayon flosses, which are these synthetic, really shiny flosses, really tricky to work with, but I love the result. And I added more crystals and beads, and I usually make my projects with a darker skin. So yeah, I love these mermaids, are so beautiful. The colors and the composition looks amazing, and I really miss a new, the mermaids from Nora. I hope in the next Mirabilia release we can see another beautiful mermaid, because they are so pretty. The sensation of a floating magic creature. And talking about crazy fabrics, this is another example. This is Tree of Hope, and I decided to use a really dark fabric in order to give the design like night look, kind of mysterious and different. And this is a lovely design in a really neutral or very light fabric. The design is gorgeous, but I'm very crazy like that, and I like to play with combination and making things a little different or more like me. So yeah, I really love this design. The tree is beautiful. It's beautiful, and the composition with the girls looks so cute. I have two daughters, so I I love to stitch designs with pair of girls, like the mermaids or these sisters. And yeah, another project, this is Madonna of the Garden, and this was I stitched this on linen at Belfast, and I didn't change anything because it was one of my first mirrors. and I didn't know that you can change anything. So in many of these older projects, I stitched as was called for in the pattern. So yeah, I love her. And another example with Petal Fairy, I didn't change anything. And now when I look these older projects, I really wish I could be more, adventurous and change something. But of course, they are gorgeous patterns and designs, and I'm really happy to have been able to stitch all of this. But yeah, these are very different of the designs that I'm stitching right now, changing things and being more creative. But yeah, this is a lovely, lovely pattern, and I stitch her on a Jobalan 28 with 2/2, which again, it's a weird combination for me right now because I love to stitch on 32 with one thread of floss, 1/2. So yeah, but you know usually you change your taste and the way you stitch and the designs that you used to like, and you are evolving as a stitcher. So it's nice for me to watch these older designs. This is more recent, Ophelia's Pearl. This is a lovely project because one of my stitchy friends sent me this pattern, signed by Nora, and it was a wonderful gift. So of course I needed to stitch this mermaid right away. So yeah, I love it. The fabric, it's an even whip that I dyed, and the frame, it's a lovely wooden, really thick frame. So yeah, I really love this design. It's very simple but very, very pretty. And the line of Nora's Corbett design are smaller and faster to stitch. This is a classic, of course, Titania. Again, this was one of my first Mira, perhaps the first one that I stitched. And again, using all the materials that was, indicated in the pattern. And I remember that I was stitching on that linen, perhaps one of my first experience with linen, and it's a Wichel linen and really stiff. I didn't like it at all, but I didn't knew anything else. But it was an amazing experience because was my first time using metallic threads and beads and a little crystal, and being able to know all these materials could be used in my stitching was something amazing. I didn't knew you can do that. And I remember stitching her wings with the half stitch with filament, metallic filament, and to create that transparency look. And I was amazing. I was amazed by that. I didn't know you can stitch this type of creatures and with this type of materials, and it was an amazing experience. So I really love Titania very much. She was one of my first Mirabilias, and the romance began. This was, I think, the first project that I decided to change the color of the fabric and to use a fabric different from the pattern. And this is a really, really pretty mermaid. It's a very simple design, not big with the big dress or anything like that, but the impact of the color, it's really really gorgeous. And her face and her beautiful hair, and this flowing movement of her body, really really pretty. And I love her very much, and I really enjoy using a different color for the fabric. And I start with her to experiment in different options for my projects. And of course, speaking about the experiment, Eliana, which I stitch as a Katrina, a Mexican character. Here I change a lot of things. The fabric, it's a Lugana 32 that I dyed, and I stitch 1/2, and I change her face completely to create this Katrina makeup. And I use specialty stitches, and I change all the colors of her dress. And I enjoyed this very very much. I was really afraid to mess with this design, because Eliana, it's a gorgeous design, but I keep going and keep adding different motifs and different features, and trying to be creative, and at the same time relying on this beautiful design by Nora. And this is Katrina as Princess Eliana, one of my favorite Mirabilias so far. This is one of the biggest projects that I have, because I stitch Lady of Mystery in a 28 count, and it's a really large pattern. So yeah, it was a long way to stitch, a long way to go. Her dress is so huge, but it's one of those designs where her face is amazing, her look, this character, her personality. You can feel, the strength of this gorgeous woman, and I love her. I love her very much. And I didn't use the silks. I use DMC, and I stitch and I stitch and I stitch the the dress. And yeah, this design didn't use a lot of colors, but the impact is really great. I remember that I substitute the color of her hair with DMC, making small changes, not very, very much, according to the pattern, but she's gorgeous. And I dye the fabric. I really want to complement the design. Sometimes I like to make this contrast between the fabric and the design, and sometimes I like to mimic the colors of the pattern with my fabrics. Fairy Moon, another of my first mirrors, and talking about huge dresses that you think you are never going to finish. And this one again, it's one of the my the or I think it's the bigger frame that I have. I stitch her in a Jobelan by Wichel, I think. Yeah, it's really really gorgeous. It's a classic design by Nora, and the moon with all those beads. And I always struggle to take a picture of this project, because of the glass in the frame. And I really don't like to use glasses on my, yeah, glass or crystal on my frame, because you can really see the beauty of the stitches and the beads and everything. But yeah, it's a thing of preference, I guess. This is a more recent project. It's Blossom Goddess, and I use 36 linen. I'm stitching 1 or 2. It's a linen that I dyed, and for her I change her face. I open her eyes and change the color of her skin and the color of her hair, and give her a little more personality, because in the original design her eyes are closed and it's more like a calm and shy lady. So I open her eyes and make her a little more sassy. It's a lovely project. I love the colors. They are so beautiful. The combination between all those lilac flowers and pink flowers and her blue dress and the bottom of the design. It's an amazing project. Another of my favorites, it's Fairy Flora, a really classic project and design. This was a gift from a dear friend. She sent me her use pattern, which I love because we have this special bond. She sent me her personal pattern. So I changed the color of her skin, the color of her hair, and I use different colors for the beads, and add more crystals to the design. And yeah, it's a local fabric that I use, 30, 36, 38. I add more crystals, and I stitch this with DMC and CXC, which is this polyester floss, but I really love it. This is Glittering Leaves, a really small but beautiful design by Nora, and I stitch her in a Aida 14, which I dyed with the ice technique. I love the effect of the fabric. Looks really pretty. And when I stitched this project, I was making kind of an experiment, like 24 hours stitching. So I finished her in a weekend, and I love how you can, with a few stitches for the back stitch, make a complete face and an expression. So I love that that thing that Nora does with her designs. Cathedral Woods Goddess is a gorgeous piece. It's really gorgeous. This is one of my fabrics. Again, I try to replicate the color of the dress. I dyed this linen. It's a linen 38, 32. It's a Belfast that I dyed looking to find the colors of her dress, because I think that was the perfect color for her. And I love how the copper tones look against the fabric. She's gorgeous, and with all those beads and crystals, I love her very much. I didn't change her skin or anything, but she's amazing like that. And this Renaissance mermaid, it's a project that I love very, very much because I play with the specialty stitches on her hair, and it's a really easy project to stitch. You know, I make the specialty stitches to make it more interesting, but you really stitch this project really, really quickly. Some of Mirabilia's designs have that rhythm that, I don't know, you can stitch those projects really, really fast, and they have like this flow, like this yeah, rhythm. I'm sorry for the noise. My kids are upstairs playing, so if you hear a lot of noise, it's not me. But yeah, I love this mermaid so much. And talking about designs that are not as easy as they seem, Nightingale, she's, oh, one of those projects that when the original, you know, when they release the pattern, I really want to stitch her, and I fell in love of the colors, of the composition, and I changed the color of her skin, of her hair, and I use Lugana 32 that I dyed. I use DMC and CXC flosses, but this, it was a really hard pattern to follow because it was not the same, you know, composition of the skirt, and it's gorgeous. I mean, look at her. It's amazing, but I struggled so much. I didn't finish her in a weekend. It took me like half of the year, and it was a struggle. Every time I was trying to stitch her skirt, you know, the dress, I didn't find the logic. I don't know if I'm making myself, you know, clear or making any sense, but yeah, it was really hard to stitch. And at the end, I say, you know what, I need to finish her because it's not going to beat me. But yeah, now we are friends again, and I love her so much. Stargazer, this is a fabric that I bought, and it's a Jobelan, and it's a lovely fabric. But I did it. I was really, you know, intrigued by these lovely fabrics, and you know, looking at the websites where they sell those hand dye fabrics. I was really, really interesting, and I got a few of those fabrics, and then I decided to hand dye my own. But yeah, this is a lovely fabric, and it was by Sugar Maple Fabrics. Yeah, it was that, you know, I was trying to create my own materials, my own stash, and it has been a journey, but I really, really happy. And this is another classic and lovely project. This is Gypsy Queen. Is the only queen that I stitch from Nora, because I personally, I don't like the queens very much. But this is lovely. The colors, the composition, the beads, the crystal, such an elegant design. And this was a gift by a stitchy friend. She sent me the fabric, the patterns, the beads, the crystal, everything. So I only have to had to stitch her. And yeah, it's a really royal character, and very, very pretty. Another beautiful mermaid, mermaid of Atlantis. And this is a really skinny design, a really vertical design. But I love those designs with the border, the square or rectangular border. Um, they give the design a really elegant finish, I guess. And yeah, she's a really, really sweet little mermaid with, this lovely face, and with all these beads, and it's gorgeous. Those greens and those blues are amazing. I love her. I love mermaids. Well, I love all Mirabilias. Well, not all. This is Feather Fairy, another classical by Nora. Um, I make her darker, and with a darker hair, darker skin. And this is a fabric that I dyed. It's a 36, 38, and I use only metallics for her wings, and they look amazing. I love the movement of her skirt. Oh, it's like she's jumping and walking around. So pretty. I really, really enjoy stitching her. And yeah, the finished piece is really, really something. She's very, very pretty. And yeah, this is a more recent design, Moon Glow. This is by the Nora Corbett Designs, the smaller one. And for her, I use a really, really dark linen. The linen was a gift from a friend. I didn't dye this fabric, but I really want, something dark and mysterious. I love her, and I really want to stitch, the other design that's very similar. This was another of my experiments, and a wonderful experience. This is Camille, and I changed again her face, her color skin, her hair color, and I stitch her a golden frame. I use rayon flosses and satin stitches, and you know a little specialty stitches and crystals in order to create this metallic frame. And I love the way she looks, and it's a really small design. And in my retreats, when I took her, it's always amazed. The people always ask me, she looks so tiny. This is my most recent finish. This is a Calo Mermaid. She's a design by Nora from her Patreon, and I changed her face, and I used different flosses and added specialty stitches. And this fabric, it's a really dark and rich fabric that I dyed, and yeah, I love it. I don't know, perhaps because we love the use of color here in Latin America. I really, really enjoy these vibrant colors in my stitching. Yeah. Another little gem, touching the autumn sky. I stitched this project a few years ago, and I didn't remember that I have this pattern. And someday I was cleaning my stitchy corner and organizing my patterns, and I found her, and I said, you know what, I have a treasure, I have to stitch her. And yeah, this is one of the out of print patterns, and I stitch her, and I have the pattern as a little treasure. But yeah, she's so lovely. I put her in a basket, like a arrangement with flowers, and she looks really pretty, but I get tired of that arrangement in the basket. Very much like Priscilla, finished it. And I took the basket, and yeah, I probably will frame this project, but I need to frame a few more. This is another completely conversion that I made. This is originally Luda, and I decided to change her to a Mexican girl with her face as a Katrina. Katrina, it's a really traditional character here in my state. We celebrate Dia de Muertos, and it's really a big party here. So I love this tradition, and yeah, I stitch her face 1/1 and create her makeup. I added her blouse, very traditional from the Mexican girls, and I love to play with this design and create something very meaning to my culture. So yeah, I love her, Camille. This is Botanical Garden. This was one of, I think she was the first of her portrait series. And again, when she released this pattern, I had to have it right away. I changed her face a little bit, her eyes and her mouth. I stitched her with a darker skin color, not so much, but a little bit. And I dye the fabric with color paper, so she looks really pretty, very sweet, really with those pastel colors. This is under the friendship tree without the tree. I stitch these girls, again, two girls like mine, in a Aida 14, and I didn't stitch the leaves and the tree, but yeah, it's the thing when you stitch a project. It's your project. You can decide what to do, when to finish it. If you say it's done, then it's done. So I really like, the two girls, and that's all I want to stitch. So I stitched two girls, and I remember when I put the picture on my Instagram, they asked me, where is the tree? And I said, I don't know. Bluebird's Princess. Oh, I love her hair. Those greens and blues are amazing. And again, this the frame, the border is really really pretty. I love this mermaid for these rich colors, and her tail, it's a piece of art. I love the tail. She looks amazing. But yeah, it's a lot of colors, but you see those greens and those blues and fell in love. And this is Delphine's Butterfly Brigade. Again, I just finished her and I haven't, lace it or frame it. So yeah, I need to find her the perfect frame. So meanwhile, it's just here the fabric all loose, but yeah, she's so pretty. Very much I like her very much because it reminds me of the classic Mirabilia design, like Lily of the Woods or Petal Fairy or Titania, with her beautiful dress and her really sweet face. Some of the new releases from Nora are not of my taste. I totally understand that she as an artist has this evolution, but I fell in love with the classic designs, and I really love when the new releases are similar to her old style. So yeah, I love Delphine and I will frame her soon. Waiting for Ships, it was one of my first, again, Miras. I stitched her in a Aida 14, an opalescent, and I use local beads and crystals, really chunky. But this mermaid, I remember that I changed her cape or her fin, something like that, the color. Her face is lovely. It's one of my favorite Mirabilia faces. She's so sweet, so pretty, and this is Mother's Arms. I really love this design. I wish I could stitch her again with a different skin color and hair color, but honestly, I wouldn't stitch her again. I use a hand-dyed fabric that I bought in order to not stitch the background, because the sky was stitched and I didn't really want to stitch the sky, so I look for a perfect fabric. So yeah, she's a lovely lovely design. I really love the colors, and I dedicate this piece to my children. I usually never sign my stitching, but I place the names of my kids in that stitching. And finally, this is another couple of mermaids of the deep blue, that I need to frame. A lot of beads, a lot of crystals, but the design is really really pretty. Again, the movement of this mermaid is amazing. You can feel like they are dancing in the middle of the ocean, and you have that sensation of the water. And I love mermaids and fairies. And classic Mirabilia designs and being able to personalize my projects and playing with fabrics and colors and using different materials. Remember that everyone stitch different, everyone is unique. So if your piece is already unique, play around and be brave, change something. So yeah, this is my Mirabilia and Nora Corbett parade. Yeah. Sorry for the noises, but I hope you enjoy this video. I wish I could have more finishes, but I really, I'm a process stitcher, so I love to stitch and start new things and not necessarily finish everything, but being happy with my stitch. So I hope you have a great time, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.